Hello and welcome. I'm Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your certified holistic personal trainer, intuitive healer, cosmic energy reader, medical astrologer, master of numerology, the creator of the Chakra Balance Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast deck, and the founder of Holistic Fitness, which is located right here in Queens. Super excited to be here with you today, as I am here with part two. A few weeks ago, I've shared some information regarding strength training versus interval training and cardio. And I had promised that I'd come back and share some insight with you regarding part two, which is release weight versus losing weight. And what is the actual difference? There are so many of us out there that are on this trend, or should I refer to it as on this treadmill, this or hamster wheel for that matter, of thinking that they need to lose weight. And this is the philosophy that we have been taught for many, many years based on the health, fitness, and wellness industry of losing weight. There's a certain number on the scale that everyone should be to be classified as healthy. However, back in 2012, which is when this story began, when I started shifting from using the word losing weight to using the word referring to as releasing weight. And this was guidance that came to me, was downloaded by my mom, who is in the spirit realm, has been in the spirit realm since 2011. She is my guide that literally gives me downloads every single day in regards to information that I come and share with you. And since shifting from using losing weight to releasing weight, and even before doing that, I had to research, wanting to know what was the reasons to stop using the phrase lose weight and start using the phrase release weight. And studying what I've studied, research after research, realizing that when we think of the word metaphysical, the metaphysical explanation and meaning behind obesity or overweight is just as it's a psychological wall that one builds, which shows up physically on your body to protect themselves from something or someone. And because it is a psychological wall, it means that it's connected to emotions and experiences that one has gone through that they then need or think they need protection. So psychologically, they build this wall based on perhaps emotions that were not addressed or even emotions that were suppressed. And after studying this metaphysical explanation, I started really understanding it more based on my clientele and their different stories that they would come and share with me. And rewinding back to, let's say, 16 years ago, when I traditionally did personal training, and I use the word traditionally, as everyone knows personal training to be where you go into the gym or you work out at home, wherever it is that you're choosing to do your workouts, and you focus on specific goals to either get stronger, leaner, tighter, whatever it is we want to use the goal as, wanting to fit into a smaller size, wanting to be a certain weight, wanting to fit in when we really think about it in regards to what is accepted based on society. Will I be accepted if my arms are too big or too small, if my waist is too big or too small, if my butt is too big or too small, and we can go on and go on and go on. However, as within the last 15 years, being a holistic personal trainer, I have guided, supported, and held space for clients, specifically women, encouraging them to work on letting go of the word losing weight. Because when we think about losing anything, in the reality of things, we will go back to look for it. So if you lost your favorite pocketbook, your favorite dress, your favorite piece of jewelry, your favorite, whatever it is, psychologically, you will go back to look for that. And that is no different when it comes to body weight. Because, and this next statement I'm going to make may trigger some, but when we carry weight, we've called that weight in for something, as I mentioned before. That weight was brought on, that weight was called in to protect and support us from something or someone. The idea of it now is, in order to start to shred the weight that you've called in, it comes with a whole stream of things that one needs to do, such as shifting the mindset, working on the emotions that are associated with the weight that we carry, clearing the energies of the experiences that we went through, and recognizing that whatever it is that we went through was part of our journey, part of the lessons that we needed to know in order to be the person we are today. And without those lessons, we may not be where we are today. So the association between the weight that one carries and being ready and willing to start to shred whatever the emotions are, whatever the story that we tell ourselves is, whatever the psychological connection is with that weight. The minute you make that decision to move into that space of understanding that whatever it is that you call the weight in for, the lesson, the experience, that you no longer need that weight there to protect you or support you, because you are now connected and supported by a higher energy, higher vibration, higher frequency, shall we say, then you make that decision in that very moment to begin to shred and release the weight that you carry. So this old paradigm, shall we say, of losing weight and restricting ourselves from foods that we may love, but we've been told may not be good for us, may not be healthy for us, causing ourselves or forcing ourselves to have to do numerous amounts of activities so we could be a certain weight on the scale. So restriction, limitation, counting calories, counting your steps, every step that you take, all of those what would we call that, all of those processes that goes with the whole format of losing weight, all of that needs to be released as well. So when we make the decision to release the weight based on the emotions, based on the stories, based on the lesson, and we move into that space of forgiveness, and then we also move into that space of what I have learned through this journey that I carry this weight for, in that space of the wisdom and the courage to decide to let all that go, gives you the ability to then release the weight. And once you make that decision to release the weight that you have carried for whatever the reasons are, and for however long you've carried it for, it's not about dieting. It's not about excessive workouts, high intensity workouts. It's not about how much cardiovascular fitness you need to do, how many hours of stepping, or how many hours of walking, or how many hours of running you need to do. No, it's not about any of that. It really is about that conscious decision that you have made, recognizing why you've called the weight in. And again, like I said, that might be a trigger for some, because some might be sitting back saying, well, why would I call the weight in? As I mentioned before, We call the weight in on an unconscious level to protect us from something or someone. And the weight itself is only an emotional connection that we hold on to, which is that psychological wall that blocks us and protects us from whatever it is we feel we need protection from. And the minute we make that decision that we no longer need that wall there, and we do the work on connecting with whatever the emotions are, it could be anger, it could be frustration, it could be hurt, it could be abandonment, it could be grief, whatever the emotions are, it could be shame, guilt, afraid, not feeling worthy, not feeling wanted, not feeling deserving, not feeling valued, whatever your words are. Once you can get to that space and you can move into that conversation and recognize that in that very moment, at that very time, that you start shedding away all of that energy, is the very moment when you begin to release the weight. Whatever is attached to, when it started, and the format that I go in when I address this conversation with clients is first thing I do ask is, when did the weight come on? What was going on? How old were you when the weight came on? And that then allows that individual to reflect back what was going on in their life, how old were they, and their story, which then I hold space for them, for you, to share the story of what was going on. And when you are allowing yourself to share your story, that is the beginning to the process of releasing the weight, because now you are literally sharing the story. So you begin to let it go. So it's not about dieting. It's not about restricting calories. It's not about how many hours of cardio one has to do, how many hours of intense strength training or intense any type of training does one need to do. It really is about the emotional, the psychological, and the mental correlation that's associated with the weight that you carry. And when you are ready to put that weight down, when you are ready to release the energies associated with the weight, is the very moment you begin to see and experience shredding, literally the weight just falling off, And I have witnessed many women in this very process where they did not change the way they ate. They did not do high intense exercise. They did not do an enormous amount of cardiovascular fitness. All they did was sit side by side with me, maybe possibly in a Reiki session, and they shared their emotions. They shared their story. They allowed themselves to be vulnerable, and they allowed themselves to start to peel layers and layers and layers of whatever it is that they've been carrying from however long they've been carrying it for. And that is what helped them to begin to release the weight. So when we go back to the words losing weight, I want you just to remember that when you lose anything, doesn't matter what it is, you will definitely go back and look for that. Look for that, anything you're looking for, whatever it is you lost. And it's the same process in regarding to weight. Until you are ready, willing to accept your journey to why you called on this weight, to protect you, to support you, to block you from whatever it was, is when you will be ready to release the weight that you are carrying. And when that time happens, it's again not about how many calories should you be consuming, how many hours should you be doing exercise, how much movement are you doing. It's not about that. It really is about the emotional, the psychological, and the mental process. The mental process, excuse me, is the mindset. When you can start shifting the mindset, you can start shifting the internal dialogue from losing to releasing. You can start shifting the internal dialogue to restricting to stretching. And when I use the word stretching, I don't mean the physical stretch where you're actually stretching your body, so to speak, but just stretching the mindset of thinking that you could do whatever it is you want to do. The unlimited possibilities. There is no limitations. There is no restrictions. And this will allow you the opportunity to allow yourself to move into that space to release the very weight that you do carry. And wherever you carry that weight. And the beauty of all of this is that once you do start this journey of releasing the weight, the emotional connection, the story, and you start to share the story, that weight that you've carried for as long as you've carried never comes back. Never comes back. Because you literally allowed yourself to let it go. And that's the beauty of releasing weight versus losing weight. And just throw a little science into this conversation. Not sure if you're familiar with this information. This information is the average person that loses weight, no matter what the weight is, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 50 pounds, the average person, after 1 year of losing weight, they regain that same weight and they gain some more in addition. The average person will lose the same amount of weight over and over and over again. Because, again, as I've mentioned, when you're losing the weight, psychologically, you are not ready to let that weight go. So your body calls back in. There will be some experience, some emotion, some lesson that will show up that will cause you to call that weight back in to protect you from something. So again, that science is the average person that loses weight regains their weight plus more. And the average person that loses, whether it's 50 pounds, the average person puts back on and takes off that 50 pounds multiple times in their life. When you step in the approach of releasing weight, you make the conscious decision to start sharing your story, connecting with the emotions that might have been suppressed or just buried. And you start working on releasing those emotions. And the more you work on releasing the emotions, the lighter you begin to feel. So once again, to conclude, it's not about dieting. It's not about restricting calories. It's not about calorie deficits. It's not about how many steps you have to take a day. It's not about any of that. Now, do note that theoretically, when we speak about how many steps that one needs to take a day, theoretically, 10,000 steps a day? That's general health. It has absolutely nothing to do with taking 10,000 steps a day so you can, quote unquote, lose weight. Because theoretically, as you take 10,000 steps a day and you do this every day, your body gets used to that. Your body is going to do what's called plateau. The first give and take 6 weeks that you're in this process of taking 10,000 steps a day, yes, you're doing something different. So your body is going to not be used to what you're doing. So you're going to see some changes in your composition. But then once your body gets used to what it is you're doing, the changes that you see in your composition will come to a standstill. So the 10,000 steps that the American Heart Association suggests that we take is for general wellness and heart health. It's not to do with your weight. So I encourage you to get to know your why, to why it is for you in this very moment that you are ready and willing and committed and motivated and have a desire, your intention to release the weight that you carry, not lose weight. Because again, focusing on losing weight means that yes, you will lose the weight with whatever it is you are doing, restricting calories, adding more exercise to your routine, going an extra mile in your walk, whatever it is that you're adding to your schedule to get to that goal, weight goal, in a short period of time, you will regain back the weight. Because by adding more to your schedule just to get to a specific weight goal is not the answer to releasing the weight that you're looking to release. The answer to release the weight that you're looking to release is really based on that emotional, psychological, and mental connection that you have with the weight that you carry. So if you are interested in going on this journey to release weight and really discovering how you can release weight and having support, having someone hold space for you and having someone shine light on you on your journey, I am here to support you. With that being said, I'd like to offer you the opportunity to work with me to start off with a 15-minute self-growth discovery session, complimentary, my gift to you, where you and I can sit, have a conversation for 15 minutes and discover one thing about the weight that you hold on to. One thing. So by the time our 15-minute conversation is finished, you will have released something from your story in that 15 minutes. And then, of course, if you decide that you do want to work with me on this journey, I do offer 6-month and 12-month prescription plans. And I would love for you to be a part of that. So here's my offer again. Go ahead and redeem your complimentary 15-minute self-growth discovery session. You could do so by emailing healingwithin76@gmail.com. All you have to do is send me a message, email a message letting me know that you saw this video and you would love, you saw this YouTube, you love to take advantage of a 15-minute complimentary self-growth discovery session. And during that session, like I said, we will discover together one thing, one experience, one emotion that is associated with the body weight that you carry. And in that very session, you will work on releasing that one thing. So you will work on getting lighter in that 15-minute session. And then the two of us will then decide at that very moment whether I am a good fit for you and if you're a good fit for me, for my program. And I will get you started on your journey to release weight, not lose weight. Become the best version of you. Now, the average woman that does work with me, what they walk away with, their results, the overall results as they begin to release weight, they walk away with confidence, to be seen and heard, so they can share their story, their journey. Because you have a story, you have a journey, which is what your weight is connected to, your journey and your story. And they have the confidence to stand in front and be seen and heard. And then they have the strength and the courage to step away from their job, and fully step in to your soul's calling. Because remembering, if you don't already know this, remembering that whatever it is your story is that your weight is associated with, it's associated with your soul's calling. After all, as part of why you're here on this earth. The contract that you have, the weight that you've called in, and remember that's the word I use. It's a very important word, called in. And not to be triggered by it, not to get upset by it, not to turn off this video because it bothered you because I said you called in the weight. You called in the weight. You have a contract with this weight because that weight is a part of your journey, your story. And here you are right now sitting and listening to this video, and there's something that I had said that caught your interest, that had you pause, because now you're ready. Now you are ready to come off the roller coaster, the hamster wheel, the treadmill, and step out of the term losing weight and step into the term releasing weight. And you are ready to release the weight that's associated with your emotions, your mindset, your psychology, your physical well-being, mind, body, and spirit. You are ready to release what is associated with your mind, body, and spirit, and very well associated with your emotions that's connected to your story. And it is a mind shift that we will do together. We will work together. And I will get you on this journey so you can begin to share your journey, your story, and help others to do the same. Now, again, all you need to do is reach out to me. Email healingwithin76@gmail.com to redeem your 15-minute complimentary self-growth discovery session. And I do look forward to helping you release weight physically, mentally, emotionally, and psychologically. associated with your childhood and past life traumas, which is related to your Chiron moon, which you and I will discuss more about your Chiron moon and how that's associated with this whole journey in itself, and how your personal energy, your number, and your astrological GPS are your two keys to helping you on this road of releasing weight. I thank you so much for spending time with me today, and I do look forward to connecting with you. And I'm so excited to help you really step into your soul's calling. Bye-bye for now.